Hi everyone, Will from Fologram here. In this tutorial we're going to cover how to synchronize parameters in our grasshopper definition, things like number sliders, buttons, toggles and value lists, with a user interface on our mobile phone or mixed reality headset. To synchronize a parameter, all you need to do is switch it on using this little toggle that appears next to any supported parameter type. When it's purple, it's synchronized, and when it's grayed out, that parameter is not synchronized. A synchronized parameter lets us control our grasshopper definition remotely using our mixed reality UI. It's important to understand that what is happening with Fologram when we synchronize a parameter is the value of the slider is being sent back to Grasshopper, which then causes Grasshopper to recompute our definition, and the geometry is sent back to our mixed reality device. There's no computation which is happening on device. We're just sending that value to Grasshopper and getting the geometry back. So if you want to use synchronized parameters in a Grasshopper definition, you'll need to use a live session of Fologram. You won't be able to upload these models. You'll only be able to upload static geometry, not interactive Grasshopper definitions. If for some reason you want to hide these toggles, you can turn them on and off from the Sync XR parameters menu. Okay, so we've got a simple definition here which is going to let us control the radius of a sphere as a demo. I've got my radius set up as a slider. If I change that in Grasshopper, things all work as expected. We're changing the radius of the sphere and seeing that update in mixed reality. And if I turn on syncing of that parameter, then we're going to see that slider appear in mixed reality. And now I'm controlling that with my mobile phone rather than changing that slider on my PC. So this is a really powerful UI pattern. Let's have a look at using the steppers to control slider values. This is useful for doing things like setting up fabrication sequences where you want to show each step in a sequence one at a time. So you want to increment the value of a slider by 1. And let's build a little definition which will let us do that. So I've got a curve here. Let's divide that curve up into some points. Let's make those spheres a little bit smaller. Maybe we'll move some points, control points around a little bit on this curve. Okay, now let's imagine we're making a little sculpture out of marbles. All these marbles are placed along this curve, and we want to build a fabrication tool which shows us exactly where to place each marble one at a time. We could use a list item component to grab each sphere one at a time, and we could have a slider which chooses the current sphere that we want to see, like so. If we rename sliders, they will help us understand which slider is which in mixed reality. Okay, so we've got a definition here which lets us control a sequence. I'm going to turn that on, and there it is. It appears underneath my sphere radius slider. And when I press these left and right buttons, I can control the value of that list item, which item is being picked, using these buttons here. Nothing's updating in mixed reality yet because I'm not synchronizing anything. So let's finish this fabrication app and actually display something on our mobile phone. So we use another sync geometry component, and let's make the selected sphere, we'll make that red, and let's make the display mode on all other spheres, let's make that one and let's just see what happens. Yeah, okay, so all of these gray spheres are covering up our red sphere. Let's see if we can make it maybe wireframe. Now we can see our red sphere, but all of these other spheres are fully welded together. So we're not seeing any wireframe. Let's try occluded silhouette. There we go, that's better. So now we can see all of the spheres which we're yet to place as little outlines in our model. And the one that we're currently placing is this nice highlighted red sphere. Okay, let's have a look at using another parameter type in our definition, specifically a value list, to change the color of our selected sphere. So let's say we have red, green, and blue, and purple as 4 options for the color of the sphere. And we'll just plug all of those into a color parameter and use another list item component to grab those colors. If we create a value list, by default a value list gives us 4 options with values of 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's plug that into the index, plug that into our material. And we'll synchronize our value list as well. That'll pop up in our Fologram UI. And when we tap on that value list, now we can select from one of these options. So if we select option 3, that's our purple color. If we select option 4, that's red. Option 2, that's blue. Option 1, that's green. That was just from the order that I connected these colors into this color parameter here. You can rename, if you double click on a value list, you have some control over what all of these different values are. So we can set the values 1, 2, 3, 4, and we could give them names which actually make sense. So green, red, blue, and purple. Then those same names will appear in Mixtuality and Fologram. If you want to work with buttons or toggles, these are the 2 other supported parameter types which you can synchronize with your UI in Fologram. Thanks.